So I felt starting off from the day, President Barack Obama came out with an apologetic tone after a U.S. counterterrorism strike at the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan in January killed 2 hostages as they were targeting al-Qaeda members. So when it happened, of course, this was kept secret for a while, but the 2 members, one was an American, the other one was an Italian, Warren Weinstein and Giovanni Lo Porto.
Which was the Italian?
I was going to have to clarify, but I figured I didn't have to.
Okay.
All right? So they were both killed because they were being held hostage. Now, before we get to any of the things that Obama was saying in his press conference, I think it was over 8 minutes long. I had to listen to the entire thing, all the pauses included. I at least want to get to a little bit who the American was, because that's apparently the only, I didn't get too much information on the Italian. I'm sure in other publications it was there. But it was just a little sad, the first aspect of who this guy was. His name was Warren Weinstein again. He was a 73-year-old international development worker. He was in it working with a contract with the U.S. Agency for International Development. He was there from 2004 and supposed to be gone in 2011. That is when they captured him, 4 days before his 7-year contract was up. So just imagining from, say, Monday, Friday's coming, and that's the end of your 7 years overseas in Pakistan area. So he was kidnapped in 2013, 2 years after his kidnapping. There was a video that came out where basically he was, quote, totally abandoned and forgotten. Felt he was totally abandoned and forgotten by the American government, which it could have been, again, another one of those hostage tapes where you don't know what he was told to say or what he really felt. So it was a little sad. So he was one of the victims in this hostage attack, or in this attack, counterterrorism attack America had. So let's listen to what the president had to say.
Based on information and intelligence we have obtained, we believe that a U.S. counterterrorism operation targeting an al-Qaeda compound in the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region accidentally killed Warren and Giovanni this past January. I know that there is nothing that I can ever say or do to ease their heartache, and today I simply want to say this. As President and as Commander-in-Chief, I take full responsibility for all our counterterrorism operations, including the one that inadvertently took the lives of Warren and Giovanni. I profoundly regret what happened. On behalf of the United States government, I offer our deepest apologies to the families.
And then he went into the Rose Garden and welcomed the New England Patriots. It's one of the unfair things about being president is you have to do a lot of things in a
And those are the type of things that end up get pointing out, if they want to show whether or not someone was, heartfelt in this. Also the fact that, you have to read these types of things. This sincere and heartfelt apology, and we have to see what really went down, and we're going to get full development of what happened here. So, it's a sad situation, and then you wonder how much this could have been avoided. And the first thing that came into my mind was an American and an Italian, one of our allies, was over there and they were killed in this attack. And again, I hate to take it to this point a lot of times, but how many innocent people were killed in a lot of our attacks in counterterrorism operations? And I know we can't have a press conference about everyone because there's thousands. So it's just, I think it's helpful for at least to be conveyed that we care about that.
Yeah, well, inadvertently killing our own is always going to, engender a press conference, whereas every other, casualty will not do that. That's just part of war.
And maybe even like acknowledgement. It gets to the next clip because Obama then talks about how, at least the tactics we used were consistent with the way we're supposed to. So let's listen to what he said then.
Our initial assessment indicates that this operation was fully consistent with the guidelines under which we conduct counterterrorism efforts in the region. We believed that this was an al-Qaeda compound, that no civilians were present, and that capturing these terrorists was not possible. And we do believe that the operation did take out dangerous members of al-Qaeda. What we did not know, tragically, is that al-Qaeda was hiding the presence of Warren and Giovanni in this same compound.
Again, I don't want to assume that we're supposed to have these types of press conferences when it happens, but I at least want some acknowledgement that we make mistakes, even when it's not Americans and allies that are getting killed. Because what it does is it fuels a lot of people, or at least fuels a lot of the terrorist organizations' their pitch to recruit people to say, you know, they don't care. They just killed your cousin and your uncle and your mother and your daughter. And then there's a lot of anger that comes with that. So I would love for us to convey that there's some care for it. And maybe I've missed it, you know, because we always talk about that, how things that fuel the kind of recruitment that they end up getting.
One of the things that isn't being talked about enough, I think, in this story, aside from the obvious, aside from the tragedy, aside from the drone question, you know, the things that we talk about all the time, is our terrible record at rescuing people. And when you look at I mean, this goes back to the Iranian hostages and Jimmy Carter, and since then, whenever we go in to rescue, we have trouble with it. While other countries, Germany, Great Britain, France, even in these past few years, they've rescued their people, and it's amazing to me how we have really lagged in our rescue efforts, and I think it's a story that just isn't told about this enough.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah,
I mean, first of all, I wasn't aware that other countries were more successful than us.
And rescuing their own people, yeah, they have been. And
why do you think that is?
we were close to getting a British national and an American woman. Recently, they got away. They left before just before we'd gotten there. I don't know what. I mean, I'm certainly not the person to ask, but as an observer, I think it's something that is underreported and under talked about, and I think that it's under talked about. It's something that people should that we should pay attention to. I don't know how you shore up your rescue missions, but we're so concerned with the offensives and we're so concerned with the defensive. The actually getting in and getting someone like Warren Weinstein, getting him out seems like it would be a priority at a certain point, and we're ineffectual when it comes to that.